Welcome back, Mr. Witness. You may kindly take your seat. Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, may I remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Okay.
Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Good afternoon, ma.
You are welcome back.
Thank you, ma.
Yes, before I hand you over to Council, I asked you a question before we went for break, on the issue of the 7,805.
Yes, sir.
Paid as stipend to a volunteer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Did you recall that?
Yes, I just checked the reference I have for this figure.
Yes.
The reference of that specific figure is the BCC counterpart contribution to the project.
Yes.
Yes. That is the only...
Did you check the PV number?
PV number?
Did you check? No, that was not the question. The question was, did you know who was paid the 7,805, which bears PV number 499?
No, ma, I don't.
You didn't know?
I don't.
Council, you may proceed.
Do you know Malanding Jabate?
Yes, Council, I do.
He worked for the project?
Yes, Council, he did.
Now, how was he recruited? Do you recall?
As far as my recollection is, he was introduced to us the project by Jonas, who is the project coordinator from Ostend.
From Ostend?
Yes.
But you don't know how he was recruited?
No, sir.
Right. How many people did you take part in their recruitment?
Indeed?
How many people did you take part in their recruitment process?
For Malang?
How many? How many people did you
participated in Malang's recruitment?
Yes.
Dr. Jabate.
Doctor?
You mean Malanding Jabate?
Yes.
As far as I know, it would be Jonas who recommended.
Dr. Jabate. But you
yes,
met?
because they had a background, an activity prior, together with our former IT for BCC, Sajo.
Yes.
You know, so they have certain things they were supposed to do, and he was identified.
But you subsequently had meetings with him?
Yes, we had interaction later on.
And you had email correspondences with Dr. Jabate?
Yes, I do.
You have asked him to send a financial proposal?
Normally, naturally, that would be yes.
Okay.
Because when an identification is done, I will request for that.
So, were there other consultants that you have requested for them to send their proposals?
For this activity, I could not remember. But
why?
I'm not sure. I don't think.
Is there any reason why Malang was sourced individually and separately, and you did not seek to have the service of other consultants who may probably be more experienced than Dr. Jabate?
No, because this specific activity was tailor-made through their discussion of what the specification it needed to be. My understanding of what needed to be done, the materials that needed to be done, all those things were discussed between the Sajo and Mr. Dr. Jabate and Jonas. So it came from that background, the activity itself.
Will that not be in violation of the procurement regulations which will require that you at least have a minimum of 3 requests sent out for proposals for these consultants?
Yes, if it was a tailor-made program, like let's say activity for the building of something, it will naturally be. But if it is an activity that was discussed and developed, by the three of them.
Yes.
So it will be an activity that they needed to implement. So it's not an activity that have its specs and all those things.
So is that supposed to be an exception to the procuring of the service of a consultant?
Even that, I would believe. Sorry, say that. Repeat yourself.
What you are saying, the justification or excuses, are those supposed to be exceptions to the requirement for the procuring of services from a consultant?
Still now, we could have requested a complete procurement.
Yes. So why was it not done?
It was not done because at the end of the day, we thought it was an activity he discussed with Jonas, and they have it already planned to execute. So
devoid of compliance of procurement regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because normally when these things happen, many a time my function there is to write and just request for quotations, and then push it over to either procurement or to BCC to do the needful.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm limited to what I am supposed to do.
Yes, but even what you're supposed to do, you did not do it. You're supposed to request three proposals minimum, not just to probably deal with Malang directly. So the discussions between Dr. Jaite and Jonas and others, is that where they decided as to how much should be spent on the consultant, or are the figures already decided on as per the project document?
I wouldn't know. It was when I requested for the
financial
statements.
Yes.
Then I saw the figures, but I wouldn't know in their discussion whether all these things were highlighted and cost, or it was just.
Were those in line with the budget? The financial statement, the proposal from the consultant, were they in line with the budget?
Yes, the budget was able to absorb it.
But did the budget have a specific amount for that particular consultancy?
Yes, it did.
So it was the same amount, the exact amount that was sent to you by the consultant?
No.
So maybe
because normally how also it works, let's assume there is a consultancy of I'm just giving an 7,000 euro.
Right.
You understand? This is within the budget, but the consultant or Jonas and others will do whatever they have to do. So when a request comes, we normally, or let's say, I am required to write and request for this the technical and financial proposal.
Yes.
But I always ensure that it is within the budget. You understand? But it was not like per se they requested exactly the budget. And many a time the budget is controlled by the project coordinator of City of Austin. He had the custodian of the budget.
Babukar Sise. You know Babukar Sise?
Yes, I do.
The HR specialist?
Yes, I do.
And how was he contracted?
The Babukar, I didn't know him prior to interacting with him.
Yes.
What happened is when we needed the HR the policy,
right,
which was a fundamental gap which was happening in the BCC at that moment,
right,
and it was a requirement. So we reached out to two others, and I reached out to the University of the Gambia because they have a lot of consultancy issues going. So my contact person at the university was Dr. Fane.
Yes.
So it was Dr. Fane who invited that Mr. Sise. That is where I met him.
Yes.
So it was not like I knew him before or I contacted, because I have never met him before. So that is my point of meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what exactly he said.
Okay.
that Professor Fane and Mr. Ganno had a meeting at Management Development Institute, MDI, on the matter where Mr. Ganno informed us that he is seeking for proposal from consultants in human resource management.
Excellent.
Did you have
That's
yes.
true. That is true.
Correct.
He is right.
Did you have other consultants that you've requested proposals from, apart from Babukar Sise?
Yes, there were other two.
Other two?
Yes.
And who are these consultants?
I will be able to check it. I can't remember it here, but there were other two contacted.
During this period?
Yes, yes, yes.
You will be able to give us the names of the individuals or the companies that were contacted?
Yes, that is possible.
You sent proposals as well?
Yes, I sent an email, yes, and they sent a proposal.
And they sent you back?
Yes, they do.
And you met them?
No, I didn't meet them.
Why? You met Mr. Sise?
No, those were names given to me by the procurement. The only person I met before was when I was seeking at the university for the service. So it was like, doctor, I will just take this one more time. So,
why would you not meet the other two? You've met Babukar Sise, that's my point.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, we met at the university, at MDI.
Why did you not meet the other two?
I sent them an email, but I never met them.
Why? Is there any reason?
No, there was no reason.
So, why did you choose Babukar Sise?
When all their CVs were given, in fact, I'm trying to remember, it was somebody else I first had in mind, but the final decision, in fact, came from City of Austin, looking at the CV, because, you know, you provide, apart from the technical proposal and the finance, you look at the CV.
You sent all the three to the
City of Austin, yeah.
City of Austin.
Yeah.
You have the email? Can you print out the communications that you have sent to them?
Yes, I will.
And what would be in that email? You were requesting them to make decision as to which one?
No, I normally give my recommendation,
yes,
but they make the decision.
No, but they would make the decision based on your recommendation. That's how it works. Is that not the case?
Yeah.
Have you had instance where you've made recommendations for in these situations and then they turn it down?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it happened.
Where?
I will forward you the emails. I will be able to, because I have all this in emails. Yes, it happened.
If you have the emails, please provide them. My point here is you've met Babukar Sise beforehand. You've had engagements with Babukar Sise and also Professor Fane. So he was just the outright choice.
No, it was not.
That was how it was.
It was not.
No, it was like that.
Because what happened was, I didn't even meet these people. When I showed the CVs of other people, and my first focus was normally looking at the cost attached. I think one of them, if I'm right, was a bit little reasonable. Out of, when you make your request, you will write like an opinion around it, okay? My opinion would have been the other person based on the amount, because naturally this is something we are good in looking at. But
based on the amount?
Yes, what they are asking.
It's secondary when it comes to consultant, the hiring of consultants. It's part of the primary factors, but not the most important factor. You can have a cheaper fee for a less qualified individual. Will you still go for them if they are less qualified and then the fee is much more reasonable?
Yes, and that is exactly what happened. My first point of preference was the one with the cheaper, because I thought that would save more money. But
no, you don't hear me out.
Yeah, no, I understand your point. What I'm saying is, your point is exactly the justification these people give.
Exactly.
So I'm saying it's true what you said.
Yes.
I'm in support with you.
Right. Mr. Sise was eventually contracted through Mr. Professor Fane.
Yes, sir.
And so we will still wait for you to provide us with the other two.
Yes.
That you have sent the request for proposal, the technical and financial proposal. You will need to see that one.
Okay. I will.
Right. We have Omar Jobate, is it Jobate Construction? You work with them? Huh? You know Omar Jabo?
Omar Jobate?
Yes.
I'm struggling to remember.
Jabot Construction.
For what specific activity? I need to be guided.
How about SM Bio Construction?
Yes. Now I'm remembering.
Lamin Jobate? You work with them? Microtech?
Microtech, yeah.
GAM Engineering?
Wow.
So, how were all these contracted? Did you follow any procurement regulations in hiring the service of these individuals?
No, by this time we were using the PRAC rules. We didn't. The PRAC rules. This was before we started the working with the...
And what does the PRAC rule say?
We normally look at the most competitive one. We also look at the most reasonable and propose for the money, and few others.
It's the same with the rules we have.
Yeah.
Is that not the case? But you've played a central role in hiring these consultants.
Yes.
Were you doing it together with other individuals within the project framework, like the project coordinator or the steering committee, or you had the sole decision to?
No, all these things were done with the project coordinator and the steering committee.
Why did you not involve the procurement?
As I said at the start of the project, I'm not sure the timeline for this.
Right.
There was no project procurement identified to work with us.
Yes.
But at some point, yes, we had the procurement.
In 2022, you had procurement.
Yes, we did.
So in 2022 is when you hired Babakar Sise. That was in 2022.
Yes, that was done by the procurement. Normally, I will do the writing.
This was not done by procurement.
I will do the writing. Inviting, normally the first point of call is after identifying the people we have to reach out to. Yeah, it can be from any other department. Identify and help. If we identify the names, I normally send an email to the person.
But that should be done by procurement.
And requesting. Then it's forwarded to the procurement.
No, that should be done by procurement. What you were doing at that point should be done by procurement. That important integral stage of the procurement should be handled by the procurement unit.
Here we had internally, with the project, we had the project procurement the setup.
Yes.
I mean how we are supposed to follow for the project.
Right.
So it is the function of the project manager to write and forward it.
Write and forward what? Request for, if you need XYZ, you request for, if there should be a consultant in the area of HR specialist, you should raise the requisition.
Yes.
But not to request for proposals yourself. That in itself is procurement.
Yeah. I'm telling you, in the project,
yes,
we have a project procurement policy, internal.
Yes. Can we see that policy? The policy has to be in line with the procurement GPPA regulations. But can we see that policy?
Yes.
Will you be able to provide us with the policy?
Okay.
Please get us the policy and then guide us through the various consultants that were employed during this period, and also the contractors that were hired during this period, and how their services were procured.
Okay.
Loans were contracted, loans by members of the steering committee, and you also had a loan.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
This was at some point of the project when this was in 2020, 2022, yeah?
Right.
At some point, we were made to understand, I mean the project team, I'm not
Right.
talking about the steering committee.
Yes.
Yeah? If you need an advance payment,
Of what?
like if you have, in layman language, 10 months left in your country, you can, 10 months left in your contract, you can take, if you want item, 40% or 60%, I'm not sure of this figure. It's your entitlement, it's doable.
It's prepared for in the, where can we find that?
Huh?
Where
No,
can we
that
find
is what we were told.
By?
I'm the finance manager.
Based on what? Based on what regulation, what guideline?
Yeah, he said it's accepted in the
By?
financial, and I would believe in the financial institute.
We
stuff.
haven't gathered properly before you agree to that.
Yeah. So this is what happened when he said it's doable and it's acceptable.
Which finance manager is that?
2022.
Which finance manager?
Mr. Cham.
Okay, please proceed. What
Yeah?
the full name, sir?
He's in fact with me outside there.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we said, okay, obviously, if it is something doable, and you will just take it if it is offered to you. But it's not something that you ask for or
That's Mohammed Cham?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, please proceed.
So this is how it happened. So for the project team, we had maybe 10 or 9 months left in our contract. So we took like that 40% whatsoever it was, which is going to be deductible at end of month, every end of month, so the receipt. So you will have this package, then you can, do whatever you want to do. Like it's your salary, certain percentage, you take it in advance. So that is for the project team.
Okay.
Yes, so that was the loan.
Who approved it?
Obviously, the CEO is the box stop with this. He does the approving.
The CEO. That's
Mr.
Bachili.
Bachili. Yeah.
How many of you, all of you had loans?
The project staff, it was just 7 of us, with the exception of one, which I'm not really sure. I think one didn't, but the rest all took.
How many loans did you contract?
That's the only thing, only one.
Just one.
Only that one.
All of you, one loan or?
No, but obviously I wouldn't know others whether they take extra loan. Because if you need a loan and you're a staff, you will request to the project, through the project coordinator to the CEO for approval. If it is approved, finance take care of it. So it doesn't necessarily pass through the project manager. So, but this...
If the loan is not paid, would that not affect the execution of the project?
Yes, it will. Yeah.
And all of you were well remunerated.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a project you have. Mm-hmm. It's not an institution where you have clear guidelines as to loans and loan schemes as to how it is done. Mm. I mean, you don't have that in that project because you have a target. Mm-hmm. There should be a start point and then an end point to achieve a certain set of goals in addition to your project document. Would it not affect the project if individuals start to contract financial benefits aside from the approved remuneration you have in relation to the service you offer?
Yes. Maybe normally the loans, from my point of view, was your salaries, that is what they are just giving you in advance, you know. So finance, where the idea came from, I remember asking this question, they said it's doable, so it's within.
What is doable? What is doable?
Doable meaning...
You're not a lay person to just... it means what?
I would have thought that this action, it can be implemented. It wouldn't interfere with the general performance of the project. That would be my opinion. What doable mean?
No. Doable should mean to you that it is lawfully, legally allowed. That should what doable should mean to you if you have interest in executing the project. If the project allows it, there is on blueprint. You can see it, you can read it. That there is a loan scheme you can apply for, salary advancement or loan, however you can call it. It has to be there. If not, one should not tamper with the project funds. Is that not the case?
Yes.
You and I know wherever you have worked at, there will always be a policy guiding all should be. For instance, if there are loans, salary advancement, it will be catered for. Is that not the case?
Yes, it is.
They work for the area council. They know that these things are all provided by statute. It's clearly taken care of. And so you do anything outside that, it may not be legal. That's the issue. So if you apply for a loan, you're supposed to manage a project and there is no money. And remember, you are receiving these funds in phases. Is that not the case?
Yes, it is.
And so I would not know who would, whether the CEO has the ultimate decision to manage those monies, because you as the project manager, remember you have the activities that are supposed to be executed as per the budget and the monies that are available. Is that not the case?
Yes, it is.
So here you have had problems in relation to executing some parts or some components of the project. Did it occur to you that it may be perhaps be due to mismanagement of funds, or maybe your partners as well are not satisfied with the way and manner in which BCC is managing the funds? Maybe.
Yeah. It is it is.
In fact, that's what happened. We know that's what happened. The satisfaction with respect to the management of these funds was not there. There was no satisfaction. Is that not the case?
Yes, it is.
Did your partners know about this loan?
Yes, they knew.
They know about the loan. I mean, before it was contracted.
No, it was not. They didn't know before. It was when it happened they knew about it.
So why did you take part in that, knowing fully well they did not know about it?
No, as I said, this was a completely financed decision, because it was never came to us that even this was available, this facility. So it was when the facilities was brought to the table that this is possible. Do you know you have this, is your entitlement? Then we say, okay. So it was not like something pre-planned or you thought about or it was there. We didn't know. If you have known, you would have took it a long time when you started the project, then it would have been a bigger money, then you can invest on something more sustainable. So you can see it came even at the last minute when you are not even aware of this.
Maybe you were not aware of it. Maybe you were aware of it earlier, but for them to clear you people for the taking loans or salary advancement, it means everything was just pre-planned. They knew what they were doing. Right.
Council, I have a question. Mr. Ganno.
Yes, ma'am.
It is correct that the loans from the project fund was not part of the approved project activity. Is that correct? The loans from the project was not part of the approved project activities. Was it or was it not?
Like loan per se was not within. It was not.
No, don't qualify it. Was it part of the approved project activities?
No.
Now, was there no correspondence between the project, between Austin City opposing the steering committee taking this loan?
Yeah, the correspondence came when the loan were taken, yes.
Please provide the correspondences.
Yes, there is.
All right, please provide it. Note it down.
Okay. Yeah.
The dressing of the dump site. The dressing of the dump site. The waste management component of the contract, of the project itself. There were people that were hired, for instance, Katim Sise, Lankara Mosware, Mohamed M. Sose. You recall this?
What year was this?
Just hold it a minute. During your time, you did not work with these people?
I cannot remember this name.
You can't remember?
No.
Right. 2020. For Katim CC 2020.
Katim CC.
Yes. 2020. We have Mohammed M. Source. This was in 2022. You were still there?
2020, yes, I was
Yes,
there.
we can give you time. You go and check
Okay.
these individuals. Katim Sise, you can have it down. Lankara Mosware and Mohammed M. Source.
Katim CC.
Yes.
And the other name?
Lankara Mosware. Katim Sise is for waste collection. Lankara Mosware for dump site dressing. And we have Mohammed M. Source for the security fencing and modification of the dump site and the abattoir. You need time?
Mohammed M. Source, yeah?
Yes.
And who make those requests?
Who made
This
I mean,
request?
it happened during your time, so I want to ask as to how they were contracted. But you can give us more information whether you took part in the employment of their services or not. Right. So you have the names?
Katim Sise, I have no recollection whatsoever.
Right.
Lankaramo Swad.
Lankaramo is for 2021. You have the hiring of shovel and 2 trucks in respect of cleaning some illegal dump sites in Banjul.
I think the director of planning for BCC would be more helpful on this matter.
Yeah, but we want to first confirm as the project manager, because you had already said that there were some activities that were conducted by BCC.
Yeah.
You've already discussed that part, so we want to verify whether these activities were conducted by BCC or they were sanctioned by you as the project manager.
Not sanctioned by me.
Right.
I would have some recollection with names.
You know clearly that you didn't take part in any of these 3.
No.
But okay, very well. How about the health component of it?
Yes.
The health component of it. You know any name by Fabian Inagrant and Baba Ibrahima Jallo?
Baba Ibrahima?
Jallo.
Vivian, yes, I know very well.
You work with them?
If I spoke with them.
You work with them?
Yes, I work with Vivian. Baba is possible. I cannot remember right now.
You took part in the hiring of their services?
Yes, with Vivian, I fully remember.
Okay. How was Fabian hired?
With Vivian, we had this health component of the project.
Right.
And at some point, the Banjul City Council, I think they were having some health-related activities within council itself. So when this component was reported at the steering committee,
right,
because the person who used to coordinate that health component within the project, he resigned, he left the project at the early stage of the project. Yeah, and there was this gap. None of us have any health background. So it was like a gray area for a lot of us, so that component was stuck. We could not move forward with it. Then the clerk of council, one Mr. Jones, I cannot remember his first name, mentioned Vivian, who have been working with them in Banjul on a lot of health related. So there was a need to reach out to her to come and help us, to give us guidance. So that is how the name of Vivian.
And she came together with 17 other nurses, right?
No, this is the starting point.
Right.
So she came, and we look at the health component of it, and when that happened, I'm not sure whether she visited the BCC or not, but I remember requesting for her CV and all information related to her, to have a background information about her. So this was also shared because at that time we started working closely because City of Austin technically was involved in every little details, of the project. So all this information also was shared with them, so that whatever we were doing, we were all in the same level of information. So
yes, but again, the manner in which she was contracted was really did not follow the procurement rules. Did it?
Like the set rules we are going through, no. So it was more of like a head hunt, let me put it this way. So after that happening, and she started having the background check and discussion with with Jonas, to assert that component, whether she have the capacity and the capability to do that. Because at that point in time, even our project.
Do you know whether she had the capacity?
Yes, with what was presented to us. She had the background.
If you headhunt somebody, you must have known who they are. You only headhunt when you're going for the best. That's how you headhunt.
Yeah. You
don't headhunt just for a mayor or for a service that you can find anywhere. You have to go for the best, then it's allowed. You follow the procedure, it's allowed, but apparently that's what we mean when we say headhunt.
Yes.
When we go after you for a service you render, we know fully well probably in that game, in that profession, in that service that is to be rendered, you sit on top. Mm-hmm. It's either rare to get a professional in that service, or if you have few people who can do it, the person you're looking for is just the very best among the lot. Mm-hmm. Then you headhunt if you have the person is better. But procurement always favors a fair playing field. Mm-hmm. Do you understand that?
Yes, we do.
And not only should it be a fair playing field, but as well as for economic gains. Mm-hmm. You have the best services for a very affordable and reasonable price. Then you have value for money. Mm-hmm. But what is there to headhunt for Fabian? What special skill does she have that you can't find? She's a nurse. There are thousands of nurses in the Gambia. So you must be able to tell us why Fabian was special and different from the rest.
So when she was introduced to us, as I said, by the former clerk, according to her resume, I think she was a health researcher also.
And so you can't find her? Is she the only health researcher in the Gambia?
Not anywhere I know, because this was not my area, and honestly, I didn't.
Any other?
Yeah.
So any other qualities that she might have possessed at the time?
Yes, apart from the research background, right, and a nurse, okay, and these were specifically things that we were looking at.
Just these two?
I could not remember the rest, but there were a few more things that Jonas was looking at. Because
but you and I agree that those are very common things that you were looking at, and very readily available in the Gambian market. Mm-hmm. For nurses. Yes, the School of Nursing produces hundreds of nurses every year, or every 2-3 years, but there are so many nurses. So again, what is special about Fabian in a grant that convinced you that you can't find anywhere else that would warrant you to head on?
Actually, it was not me who will make the decision, okay? I'm giving you a background of what I did at my level.
You didn't take part in this?
No, the decision is done by Jonas in Austin. So from my end, what I did is to put all these things.
See, Jonas is not a Gambian, is he? Mm-hmm. Is he?
No, he's not.
Okay, so the person making the decision in literal terms or at plain value would appear to be the person making the decision in the literal sense. Mm. But the decision must have been influenced by something, by those people who know the ground, people who live in this country. You and the clerk of council. You live here, you know here. You know this country very well. Yeah. So Jonas would have just been making decisions based on what you guys present to him. And that would have been an unfair presentation, because that would have reflected the true availability of what you guys are looking for in the northern sector?
Actually, it will be interesting, Council, to understand that Jonas and Peter know a lot about Banjul than me.
They don't. Trust me. They cannot know the country more than you.
No, I mean Banjul, not the Gambia.
Banjul is in the Gambia. All of us have the same common practice. What happens in Banjul is the same thing that happens in Combo, the same thing that happens in everywhere. We're talking about nursing. But the Banjulians don't live a distinct life from people in Combo. And this goes on. So when you were hiring a specialist or a nurse, you were not hiring a nurse that is from Banjul. You were not looking for an expert in this area that is just from Banjul. You were just looking for a nurse. And you had 17 others, plus Fabian making it 18. So basically, I am not against head hunting, but there must be a basis for it. So the clerk of council must have been a friend to Fabian, or they know each other very well. But if Fabian is an exception, and Fabian has special qualities also, there are other reasons as to why, that's okay. But I'm just saying, whether you know whether there are other qualifications that Fabian might have had or experienced, or certain factors that were put in place that may not have been, but that may not have suited the rest, then that may be a justification.
Yeah, it is possible. I wouldn't know. All I know, she was a health researcher and a nurse background. And she
you know how many research books he had written or research that he had conducted? You know? Did you find out?
I cannot remember the resume where I'm sitting, but I wouldn't know.
Did she present to you her research works?
The resume, the CV, yes.
No, not the CV. The CV is a paper. Anybody can put anything in the CV. That's why you go for an interview. So that you're now scrutinized based on the CV. You should be scrutinized based on the CV. So if you're a researcher, you must provide evidence of your research, your work. You have seen it? You have seen any of those?
Of the research work?
Yes.
No, only the research work she did for us.
So how convinced are you that she was a researcher?
Yeah, I think I relied more on my colleagues because we have this health component where the clerk of council is the chair and you have the CEO, those four people.
Mr. Ganno, the way you work with this project is so laid back attitude, huh? Really. I genuinely believe that you have, really, from interviewing you, I genuinely believe you have much more potential than how you have executed the project. Maybe you have other constraints, maybe you have other troubles dealing with B.C.C. I know how B.C.C. can be, based on the evidence we have gathered. If you're willing to share that, that's fine. But genuinely, some of the things you've done or condoned or accept, it does not reflect the true potential of a professional. It does not at all. Because remember, you were supposed to execute these functions. You were paid, you were remunerated very well. When I say very well, I mean it in its literal sense, very, very well, based on Gambian standards. Extremely well. So therefore, you were expected to hold or execute your functions in the best of your ability. You understand that? If you're willing to share your frustrations, maybe that may help, but the manner in which you've gone about it throughout does not really convince me. It's not important that you convince me. They're the ones that you should convince, but I'm just saying that's what I've seen with the employments that are going around, with your level of participation. If you don't give people fair opportunity, for the most part, everybody is just single-sourced, here and there, back and forth, based on friendship, and so on and so forth. And it seems to be the order of the day for everyone. If it was one or two occasions, then maybe you may have a justification based on special qualifications or needs. But for all the questions I asked, no procurement process was followed. And I'm sure this is only few of the procurement activities that have been done in 3 years. So you see? So it's not like you have done some in a more correct way, and others you kind of disregard, and they'll say maybe you are under pressure. For everything I ask of you, you have a beautiful way of answering, but you're honest witness. You're very, very honest, to be honest with you. But you could really have done the right thing. I don't believe we have questions now for the witness, Honorable Chair. Unless there are questions for the witness, we'll wait for him to come back for the documents that he is to provide for further questions on those.
Yes. Mr. Ganno.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you correlate the work of Mbolo, Webster, and the work of the nurses through Vivian that you contracted to deal with the health component?
Okay. We had a very complex the correlation ruling out of the activities. What happened is like the health component was all the component itself was activities. We draw it into different activities. Then the Vivian became the consultant ruling out the activities. So all she does is to report to us, write reports, and ensure every activity she is doing, we are involved. That's it. So, and
okay. So please note, and you provide us, because these reports must have been shared through email, right?
Yes.
So please provide us with the reports. Now, Mbolo was paid 1,721,500, correct? Mbolo was paid.
Yes, they were
50%.
Yes.
1,721,500, correct?
Yes, correct.
And what is it that they executed for the health component?
There are some activities that we
No,
are...
if you cannot remember or recall, note it. When you come back, you can explain to us what they were able to execute. Were they paid their remaining 50%?
I wasn't there by that time.
You were there when the 50% was paid to them?
The first 50%, yes, I was.
All right. Now, the construction of the Crab Island, you said 2 companies were given the contract.
Mm-hmm.
How much was ECHO paid?
ECHO?
Yes.
I have to list with finance.
Okay. Please check. And Diallo Column, how much was he paid?
Okay.
And why was it that they were not able to execute the contract as per the terms you agreed with them? Was there a contract between the project and these 2 companies?
B.C.C. and them.
Not you. It's B.C.C. and them.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Now, you have told us that the project was managed by the project coordinator, who was not in the country. That is, the Austin project coordinator was coordinating the activities of the project. Is that what you told the Commission?
Yeah, he's involved in the coordination.
But who was handling the detailed management of the project?
The project coordinator of the Gambia.
And who was the project coordinator of the Gambia?
Mamla Jase.
So, and what was your role? As the project manager?
Like the assistant to him, to make sure the day-to-day...
Were you given TOR?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it attached to your letter of employment?
Yeah.
It's there?
Yeah, it's there.
Mr. Kamara, can I have the letter of his employment letter? Mr. Ganno, the letter of employment doesn't have the TOR attached to it, the one that is signed by Mr. Bacheli. I can give you to take a look.
Yeah.
It's not there, right?
Yeah.
And the second letter that you submitted also, which is dated the 2nd of March 2020, doesn't have the attachments, the attachment as referred to in the letter. Show him this. Can you please provide us with your terms of reference?
Yeah.
So these two documents you submitted to us, which we have admitted in evidence, doesn't contain your TOR, is that correct?
Yes, it did.
So please note that. And Counsel, is that all for this witness for today?
Yes, that's all for today.
Okay. Mr. Ganno, please provide the documents by Wednesday. So we expect to see you here by 12.
Wednesday.
Thank you. You are discharged for today.
Thank you.